Let's take a look at what happened with Tesla today. We are down $19.80. That's 7.27% down, closed at 252.40, post-market 254.16. Let's take a look at the facts and let's take a look at how we can profit from those facts. So are we surprised? Are we surprised? We are not too surprised about what happened today. So yesterday we had a big move up. Remember that? Big move up that we had identified right here. We were congesting and then we had a break. So this was the time to buy. Boom. It could have stopped at 252. No, it kept on going and going. And let me tell you something about this. We need to let our winners ride a little bit. The best thing to do is to, when there's a buy signal, we don't know exactly up to what point it is going to last. So we can have different strategies in order to profit from that move. We could buy a few options, we can buy some stocks, and when we are reaching important resistance, we can sell a little bit, sell a little bit, sell a little bit. This is the best way to make sure that you are catching the whole move. You sell a bit at the first resistance, a bit more at the second resistance, and so on. The other way of doing it is chancing it a little bit, which is what I tend to do. I tend to do that. So I was in with calls at 244 approximately. So, and I held those calls until this morning. So I let them ride completely yesterday. And on the 1 hour chart, we had all green candles. So why sell when there's a green candle, meaning that we are going higher and higher? And then in my mind, I wait to see what is going to happen with the stock. So when it started to go lower than 260, which is a support that we had, it was there. To me, with my profit-taking desire and my risk level, I have decided to sell at 260 because this was gapping down. So a gap down is not good news. Yes, it could fill the gap, but when there's a gap down after a big move, I like to take my profit. So I took all of my profit yesterday and that's it. End of story. Yes, I could have sold at 273.79. I could have sold yesterday at that point. I could have sold part of it for a bigger profit and then leave some outside. So this is why I say that selling is such a personal opinion. Buying is less of a personal opinion because when there is a congestion and then we have a break, it's hard to debate that this is a buy signal, this is supposed to continue, so this is pretty clear. But then if you want to sell as soon as we reach 252 because you are happy about the profit that you made, depending on how much you put in, it's your choice. So this is why I focus a lot more on buy signals instead of the target itself, because the target is less clear. But we know that when we are buying on the 1 hour chart, it's not like we are buying on the daily chart. If we buy on the daily chart, then the moves last for days. When we buy on the 1 hour chart, the moves last for hours. They can go in 2 days, but it's mostly shorter term. So, we should not be holding stuff expecting that this is going to go to $500. If we buy on the 1 hour chart, we have a time span of several hours to maybe a couple of days. So right now we have a pullback. We are pulling back to 238 and we had the low at 238 during the day. And now we are retesting 252.14. We are just a little bit above. And stochastic is at 60, just right on our threshold. So basically, this is pretty much undecided what is going to happen. So let's just wait for another day to see what is going to develop tomorrow. In terms of the daily chart, we have lost stochastic over 60. We had gotten it in 1 day. Each time we have a sudden move in the stock market, this is really hard to think that this is going to continue. And this is the proof that we have right here. We have a pullback. Stochastic is gone. And we cannot close above 273.79. We could not close above yesterday. We cannot close above today. We are still in 2 hour downward channel. So nothing to do for now. We have made our money. This is good for yesterday and today. Let's take a look at the VIX. So VIX is closing higher today. We closed at 40. So an increase in the VIX tells us that things are not going to go well in the stock market. And if we go on the 1 hour chart, we are starting to see a downward channel for the VIX. VIX basically is zigzagging on its way down. If we have a break of that resistance, then this is going to tell us that there's a change in that pattern. If we just have a move here, this is not as bad. If we have a move that breaks this downward resistance, this is going to be worse. If we have a move down below that support, this is going to be a lot better. Any move in between is not going to be telling us much. This is what we are going to consider noise and not signal. The signal is here or the signal is here. This is noise. Bonds are continuing higher. We are at 4.4. Let's take a look at Dow Jones and the rest of the markets. Pretty much the same thing that happened with Tesla. After the big move yesterday, we are cooling down a little bit today. Not too unexpected. SPX, the same thing. We are cooling down. What I like is that we have a long wick. Look at the long wick right here. A wick at the bottom. The same thing with SPX. Same thing with NASDAQ. And what about Russell? Pretty much the same thing. So this is showing us that there is a need to go higher. What a wick at the bottom tells us is that we went lower during the day, but then we finished up a little bit higher, not at the low of the day. So this is a sign that things want to go a little bit higher. Even though the daily candle is red, I cannot lie about that. This is a red candle, but it's not as bad as if we had a red candle right here. This was the red candle that stopped at the bottom. Here we have a red candle that stopped a little bit higher. So this is a little bit less bearish. So we had some core inflation numbers that came in the morning at 7:30. Core inflation rate 0.1, better than the forecast. Core inflation rate year over year 2.8, lower than 3. Inflation rate month over month minus 0.1. And inflation rate year over year 2.4. So inflation is coming down. So this is very good news. This could have made the market go higher faster, but it's the market that decides what is happening. Let's take a look at some Tesla news as part of our Discord server. Tesla sales are down in every single European country except the UK. That's not good. Tesla supercharger in Washington bombed. Police and FBI step in. So the craziness is continuing. The rise of the Tesla takedown, how anger at Elon Musk boiled over into a global protest movement. And we already knew about this one. The Tesla Model Y just got a huge price cut with the launch. Tesla's most popular car is now $11,000 cheaper. So this should be helping a little bit, I'm assuming. Yeah, let's take a look at the rest of the market. So yesterday, everything was all green. Today, pretty much everything is all red. Wow, minus 7% Tesla. And yesterday, I think we were at plus 22. If we don't have technical analysis to navigate these waters, I don't know what fundamental analysts are doing because nobody knows what is going to happen, but we can still find patterns that we can follow to make money. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.